cover letter for your uh, actuarial jobs. I'll start sharing my screen. Let me know when you can see it. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Perfect. Since there's quite a few number of people, so I'd like all of you to remain active and participate. Can somebody unmute and tell me what a cover letter is? What do you think a cover letter is? Anybody would like to volunteer? All right, no worries. Uh, all right. So what's a cover letter? It's a way to introduce yourself and provide additional information about your skills and expertise. A document that you send with your resume to a potential employer to explain why you're fit for the job. So a lot of you must have questions like what's the difference between a CV and a cover letter, and why do we actually need a cover letter? So what happens is in a CV you list down and detail all your educational background, your professional qualifications, your work experience, your skills, and all that. But in a cover letter, we write it in a slightly informal way to introduce ourselves and tell the employer why we think we're fit for the job. And it's always customized and tailored to the specific role, to the hiring manager, to the company that you're applying for. So that's the difference between a cover letter and CV. We'll be discussing the differences in detail shortly. Before that, I think I missed discussing the contents and the agenda for today's session. We'll go by what's a cover letter first, which we just discussed. Then we'll move to importance of a good cover letter. Post that, we'll be discussing differences between a CV and a cover letter. Finally, we'll move to some cover letter facts and obviously the format of a cover letter we'll be discussing in today's session. That's that. And anywhere anybody feels they have any questions or they want to understand something, so please feel free to interrupt me. The chat box is not visible to me, so I won't be able to look at the chat box before I end my slides. Cool. I'll move to the importance of a good cover letter. So first thing I feel is a cover letter, although it's optional, one should always attach along with their resume because it provides an introduction to the HR or the recruiter to have whoever you're sending in your resume. This makes you stand out from the rest of the applicants, and it helps you land the interview for the dream job that you're expecting. And it also increases your chances of getting the job because, as I mentioned, it makes you stand out, and the interviewer or the recruiter might feel that you've taken that extra effort or that extra step to prepare the cover letter to send in your introduction. And there might be some catchy phrases or things like whatever your content of the cover letter is, which might attract them, and you might get the call for the interview. So these are a few things that makes a cover letter very, very important. Are there any questions up until now before I move to the next section?
No.
All right. What are the differences between a CV and a cover letter? I just mentioned a few. Can somebody highlight if you're aware of any? Hit
A cover letter
okay.
is basically customized, and it is different from CV because in the CV we just mention the like normal details about the person, but in cover letter we mention why are we fit for the job.
Correct. Anything else? As I can see from the uh, Google Meet window, are my slides moving or is it just stuck at the first slide?
It's showing only the first slide, the cover letter by
Oh,
Harsh.
okay. I think you guys should have told me, but I'll reshare. Is it visible now?
First slide only.
I think अब दिख जाएगी. Let me know if it's still not visible.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's
ठीक है. As Astha, I think, rightly mentioned, purpose में, the cover letter is a personalized document that introduces yourself to the employer and it explains why you're fit for the role. Whereas a CV has, like I mentioned, it has a whole lot of details listed down, including your professional, your educational qualifications, your work experience, your skills, achievements, and certifications. So this is the main basic difference between a CV and a cover letter. Post that, there's also difference in the contents of the two things. That's a CV is very structured and in a very concise format. It focuses on listing rather than explaining, and it is a standardized one across applications. Whereas a cover letter is tailored to the job in the company. So every time you apply for a different role in a different company, you need to amend your cover letter. It highlights the key skills and experiences relevant to the position, and you need to have a narrative tone in order to showcase your communication skills and personality. So that's that, and we'll be discussing the contents of a cover letter in detail shortly. And the final difference, I believe, is length, which is very, very important. Your CV for a fresher, although it should be a one pager. However, it can run up to 2 pages if there's a lot of information you want to include, including your work ex and everything. Despite all of this, your cover letter should not run more than 1 page. So, although you have a lot of work ex, although you have a lot of information to include, your cover letter should stick to a 1 page limit only. So these were a few basic differences between a CV and a cover letter. We'll be moving to some facts related to cover letter. Uh, First things first, like I also mentioned in my last session when we were discussing CV building, you should never put false information in either your resume or your cover letter. This is because it always gets caught. So it doesn't show a good impression of you, and a CV or a resume or a cover letter is the first impression you make to the potential employer. So always avoid putting false information. Always research about the company and the person who is going to receive the cover letter. This is because, again, like I mentioned, if you get the call for an interview, they'll ask questions basis that. So you should always have relevant knowledge about the company and about the hiring manager. The third point is that a precise and well formatted cover letter increases your chances of landing the interview and getting the job. So if you have a decent enough, precise, crisp and to the point cover letter, it makes you stand out and you have more chances of getting the interview call and hence getting the job. The final point covers the goal is to stand out amongst all other applications, all other applicants, like we just discussed. Sending in just a resume versus sending in a resume plus a cover letter makes you stand out. That was quick. We've reached towards the end. That's the format. This will take some time, but if you have any questions up until now, I'm happy to take before we move to the format and the contents of cover letter. No questions, I assume. Perfect. So, for the format, the first thing is the header or the beginning of the cover letter. That should always be addressed to the specific person or the company you're applying to. You'll usually find the name in the publication or wherever you find the job application. Basically, say for example, you read a job application on LinkedIn and that person says apply to so and so at the rate, and he or she mentions their email ID. So you can refer you can address this cover letter to that person, whoever you're sending your resume to. So this is an example of an header wherein you'll be mentioning the person's name and the city, state, basically the address of the company you're applying to, the employer's name, city, state, uh, zip code, etc., etc. So this should not be more than 2 to 4 lines, and this should be towards left in your cover letter. I'll show you an example of the cover letter after we've discussed the format. So this is the first section, that's the header. Post that we have a salutation. If you're addressing the letter to a specific person, start out with a formal salutation, that is, dear Mr. X, so and so, whatever the name of the person is. If you do not know the name, use dear hiring manager. This I've seen in a lot of cover letters, which is better than using dear sir, dear madam, or your old standbys like to whomsoever it may concern, which was my third point. Refrain from using old standbys like to whomsoever it may concern, dear sir, dear madam, etc. So I do understand back in our school times, we used to use dear sir, madam in our letters. However, we should avoid this in our cover letters. Cool. I think we'll move to the next section. That's the opening paragraph, your first paragraph, the body of the cover letter. It should have a few things that must be met within the opening paragraph. It should grab the reader's attention because this is where it's a do or die situation. If you can grab the reader's attention, they'll read the entire cover letter. Otherwise, they might skip it altogether. So your first and the opening paragraph must be very catchy. Discuss the position you're applying for. Obviously, mention and talk about the position, the source from where you got to know about the job, your references, and highlight the main points you want to focus on in your letter. So this is very, very important. Next, we move to the body paragraph, wherein you have to meet the following goals. That is, refer employees to certain points in your resume. So for example, if you have some achievement or some qualification that's mentioned in your resume and you think it's suitable for the job because of so and so reasons, you can mention it here and you can refer back to your resume. You can emphasize your top strengths and top selling points. For example, there's a job related to some modeling in natural for an actuarial client, and it requires you to possess VBA and Access or SQL skills, and you do have that. So do not forget to mention why you're fit for the job, basically because these were the required skills for the job and you possess them. So do not forget to mention that. That's where you highlight those skills. Although your resume must have your 10 skills you have listed, and the 10 skills, your 2 or 3 which is most important to this particular job you're applying for must be highlighted in your cover letter. Again, show how the qualification will benefit the company you're applying for. Like I just told, say for example, it's a project that's coming in and the company wants somebody who has experience and who has knowledge on so and so software, and you have the relevant knowledge, you're equipped and you're familiar with the software, you can mention it in the cover letter. This increases your chances of getting the job. Be specific in your descriptions. Do not write MS Office. Write MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, whatever. So basically write to the point. If, for example, like we're talking in our early example where we were talking about SQL, do not just say I know SQL. Write beginner level, intermediate level, expert, or if you've done some projects, if you have experience. So talk about it very specifically so that they know what kind of what level of knowledge you possess. Next up, we have the closing paragraph, which is the final paragraph in your cover letter. It should be short, crisp, and to the point. It should also ask for an interview. Subtly mention that it would be great if you can set up an interview for me at so and so date and time. try using an active ending. For example, tell them you'll follow up in a few days. Uh, for example, you can mention that I look forward to hearing from you. This shows that you're active and you genuinely want the job. Finally, be genuine and thank them because they've spent some time on reading your cover letter, on going through your resume. They might consider you for the job, depending on how polite or how adaptive the applicant is. Finally, do not forget to sign your cover letter. Towards the end of the cover letter, we write sincerely and your name, your initial, or basically your signature if it's digitally signed or whatsoever. So you always have to have a signature in your cover letter. So with that, we come to the end of the slides for today, but I'll take you guys through a cover letter example. I think, yeah. Are you able to see the cover letter? I think, yes.
Yes.
So this is the header or the opening paragraph we discussed. This will be the employer address wherever we're sending the cover letter. This will be the current date, the date we're applying. And this is the salutation we discussed post that. See, as I mentioned, it's dear hiring manager if you do not know his or her name. Then this is the opening paragraph, which needs to be catchy and you need to grab the reader's attention over here. So this is a random sample of a cover letter for an actuarial position. I'll just quickly read it out. I'm writing to express my interest in the actuary position at Day Life Insurance Company. As an accounting professional, more than 10 years of experience in the insurance business, I believe I'm a strong candidate for this job. This person has already mentioned why they're fit for the job. I'm familiar with your company and I'm extremely impressed with the level of service that you provide for your clients. They've also started buttering the client and the company to which they're applying. So with this, they have expressed how keen they are to get this job. I'm excited about the opportunity to bring my unique set of skills to this role. I think this is a very mainstream and thrown around example of a cover letter. You all can tailor and write better, I'm sure. So the 3 line में they've repeated themselves kind of कि they were excited to join the company. But we can talk about ourselves, how we learned about the position, what skills we bring, and why we're fit for the job. I think the 2 or 3 pointers that I mentioned a few minutes back. In their second paragraph, they have talked about their, I think, education or the technical skills they possess in brief. I have a bachelor's degree in finance with a master's in actuarial science. I've worked in a variety of accounting. Since this is a cover letter of a person who's experienced, so they are talking about their work experience and the roles that they've done, the projects they've worked on. For example, this person says, I've worked as a risk analyst for a private insurance company. These might not be relevant for us since I'm assuming the audience here is fresher. So you can talk about your bachelor's degree if you've done any project, your thesis on any of the insurance industries or whatever, which is relevant to the role you're applying for. If not, you can skip it altogether. Outside of my professional qualifications, I've always been a dedicated team player who puts the group success above my own. I love working as a team member, but I'm also self-motivated. So this person talks about his strength. Remember we talked जहाँ पर we were talking about the body and the main paragraph जहाँ पर we have to sell our top selling points. So whatever you feel is your top strength, you need to mention here and speak a little about it. This person goes on to say, I'm bilingual, speaking both English and Spanish, and enjoy working with the clients of all backgrounds, as I believe I have something to offer for every financial situation. I'm also extremely proficient with technology, as demonstrated in my last role, where I introduced a computerized system that increased our operational efficiency by 7%. So just because he has WorkX and he has done great in his last job, he has written all good things, but this is sounding a little boastful. We cannot do this as freshers. But if we have some great internship opportunities or WorkX, we can mention. Finally, this is the closing paragraph. I believe my unique set of skills and background could make me an asset to your business. I've attached my resume and 3 professional references for you to review. Please feel free to contact me via phone or email if you have any questions about my application. I look forward to the opportunity to discuss this position further with you. So यहाँ पर they've asked for an interview also indirectly. They've talked about the references also, active ending also, that they'll be looking forward to their phone or email. Basically, they'll be looking forward to their communication. And they've again talked about how they attached their resume and they want to apply for the role. This is your signature that I was talking about. Finally, sincerely, your name. So this was a very quick. Oh, it's just 5:20. That was very quick. Are there any questions? That's it on my agenda for today. I'm happy to take questions. Yes, Nandini, please go on.
Ma'am, at the start of the cover letter, do we have to write the hiring manager's address or our own? Because in the example you gave, I think the person had written their own address at the beginning.
So there are 2 ways. One, you have to write 2 lines of your address and then your employer's address, and so on and so forth. But what I saw in most of the examples was you do not need to include the first 2 lines of your address. That was directly employer's address and your salutation. So employer address is compulsory, your address is optional. So include the employer's address. Basically, that's where you're sending the letter, no? Is that answered?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Yes, Khushi, please go on.
Hello, ma'am. As a fresher, I was just thinking, how could we fill up the space and include the points that are actually relevant and not just exaggerating ourselves?
So why do you need to fill up space in the first place? I mean, I'm sure, like we talked about, the first cover letter is something where you don't have to worry about filling space in the first place. क्योंकि cover letter, like I told, has to be a 1-pager. उस 1-pager में तुम्हारा signature आ जाएगी, your salutation, your address, and that leaves you with less than half page, I believe. So within that half page, you'll open first paragraph में you'll introduce yourself, you'll talk about the reference and why you think you're fit for the job. Secondly, since you're a fresher, you'll talk about your educational qualifications, the number of papers you've passed, the technical skills that you possess in brief, and then you move to final concluding paragraph wherein you talk about expressing your interest in the role and you're looking forward to speaking to them. It would be great if they could schedule an interview for so and so date, etc., etc. So तुम cover letter should not be about filling space at all. मतलब CV अगर तुम बोलते तो I would have agreed क्योंकि CV में the format is such and the content is such कि you might not be able to fill a page. But I'm sure cover letter में somebody with no experience, no nothing at all can also fill a page easily. I think Khushi, you asked this question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have your cover letter and if you can share your screen, we can discuss that quickly. If that's okay. Otherwise, we can take it offline as well.
Oh no, I have not prepared.
ठीक है. So what I'll suggest is एक बार go through my PPT, prepare your cover letter, and if you feel कि you're not able to fill in the 1 page, we can discuss.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
No problem. Yes, Shivam, you've raised your hand. Is there any question?
Yeah, actually, I asked that, like, is this cover letter relevant to, like, apply for an internship? Because I guess that's the first step before, like, we take any job.
See, it depends. If you send around a cover, so for internship also, the process is the same. You send in your resume, you send in your cover letter, you have to go through an interview, and then you get the internship. So it's always good to have. It's not a must-have कि compulsory नहीं है cover letter attach करना, but it's always a good to have. That makes you stand out, and it gives you a relevant introduction. The interviewer or the employer, whoever is shortlisting, might shortlist you and prefer you before the others. Like I told, you've
Yeah,
taken in the effort of introducing you and making a cover letter and sharing with the employer. So it makes you stand out definitely. But ऐसा नहीं है कि if you do not send in a cover letter, you will not get a chance.
I have a follow-up question regarding this internship. Like, is this mandatory to do an internship, or directly, like after a college, we can go for a job application? We can apply for the job.
You can go for a job directly. It's not mandatory. I'm guessing you're asking about actuarial only.
Yes.
So I think most of us, actuarial internship mila is in fact tougher than getting an actuarial job. So in fact, most of us who are placed in the industry as of now do not have an actuarial internship experience. So which college do you belong to? Sorry.
St. Xavier's, Kolkata.
So I'm sure you must have this thing called college placements wherein companies come and hire you, and there's no
Yes.
criteria of internship, I believe.
Yeah, actually,
So
internships come to the campus, but like they are not for actuaries. Jobs are there for actuaries, like PwC is there, but not for internships.
yeah, exactly what I mean to say. When you go for those placements, for actual job placements, so they do not require an internship, right? So your question was, is an actual internship compulsory to
Yes.
get an actual job, right? So it's not, because actual internships are so less. You directly get an actual job. वही मैं कह रही हूँ, when you must have sat for your college placements, तो जो actual job के लिए आए होंगे, basically the company is hiring actuaries, वहाँ कोई criteria नहीं होगा to have an actual internship experience. There's this thing called actual internship is very rare currently in India.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Cool then, if there's nothing. You all can feel free to reach out to me separately. You can share your cover letters, I can vet them, or if you have any questions, reach out to me separately. I'll be more than happy to answer those. And that's about it for today's session. Thank you all for joining on a Sunday evening. Hope you
Thank you,
have a
Aditi.
nice one.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.